In 3 minutes or less, I want to take us through the storage hierarchy and why I believe it's more important today than it's ever been. Let's face it, when the storage hierarchy was first introduced, that was pretty much what it was about. That was how it was portrayed. It was this triangle or pyramid, depending on how flash your graphics were. Clearly mine are not very flash. That never really existed. What we actually had and what we were faced with for years and years was more of this. Beautiful graphics. The point that I'm trying to get across is there was never a smooth pyramid. That's not what we had in the 70s, 80s, and really part of the 90s. These jumps from main memory to disk to tape, where you had to make these moves, they were unpleasant, they were time consuming, they were difficult, and most of the time we all just avoided doing them at all. Now, what's happened over the last decade, 15 years or so, I hope you're counting the steps, make sure there's the right number on both sides. But anyway, what's happened is we've gradually filled out those steps. So we have a lot more places that we can put data, a lot more choices, whether it's now solid state, fast disk, slower disk, capacity disk, MAID, even different types of tape, lots more types of hardware. However, this still has a problem. What we've gradually learned to do is get the software, the capabilities to move from one step to another. But most of it's been that way, by the way. Anything moving up this way has been tremendously difficult at all. So, the big joke of the day is really it was a lowerarchy, not a hierarchy. The next step, and why I think this is coming back and is so important, is that we have the software capabilities to move data seamlessly up and down through the hierarchy. Suddenly, when you can move it, it becomes a dynamic hierarchy and it's actually got some value. And what you'll notice with that is that it starts to look a lot more like that cliche that we all learned 20 years ago, but never really could do anything with. Now, the things that have smoothed this out and allow us to move around are things like it's all to do with archiving and tiering and migrating data. And the summary is, and again, you would have heard this, it's about the right data in the right place at the right time. And that's what that triangle, that hierarchy was about. The really interesting thing, and I think the final twist that makes this so compelling right now, is not just that we can move data within that, but we have the ability now, this is all about efficiency. This is achieved by things like deduplication, by using SSD, by thin provisioning, tools such as that actually reduce the amount of data under control. Less data, more control, dynamic hierarchy. It's actually worth talking about again.